Hi, my name is Satina, and thank you so much for being here and listening to my podcast, Life is Short and So Am I. I really appreciate all of the support and love that I've been getting through this. It's been a lot of work, but I've really enjoyed it. It's something that I was like, hey, this is a great way for me to be able to talk to people, which is something I absolutely love doing, and connecting with the world in a different way. So, welcome to Life is Short and So Am I, the podcast. This is my very, very first episode with Mary. It was going to be recorded on video, but unfortunately, I was using my phone at the time and didn't have a video camera like I do now. So it is going to be audio, but it is here free for you to be able to enjoy. And you know what else is free? Subscribing to that YouTube channel. So that'd be amazing if you could do that. It really does help me out. So anyway, I really hope that you enjoy it. I'm so nervous for so many people to see it. It's a little terrifying, but I'm putting myself out there and we'll see what happens with it. So thank you for being here. I really appreciate it, and on with the episode. Welcome to Life is Short, So Am I, the podcast where we embrace the beauty of every moment. I'm your host, Satina, and together we'll dive into the world of pop culture, delve into the depths of my personal life, and uncover the remarkable stories of everyday heroes. Our goal? To spread joy, positivity, and kindness in a world that can sometimes feel overwhelmingly negative. So, grab a cup of your favorite beverage, settle in, and get ready for a podcast that will leave you feeling uplifted and inspired. This podcast episode contains discussions of suicide and sexual assault, which may be triggering or distressing for some listeners. Please prioritize your mental and emotional well-being while listening, and consider skipping this episode if these topics are sensitive to you. Remember, there are helplines and support resources available if you or someone you know is in need of immediate assistance. Thanks again for listening. On with the episode. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Life is Short and So Am I. That would be me. Well, Mary, how tall are you?
I was almost 5'8". The older I get, the shorter I get. So now I think I'm like 5'7".
Oh my gosh, so short. Well, I'm happy to have you here on my podcast.
Thank you so much.
So we met, when did we meet? Back in, I think it was last year, the beginning of last year?
I think so. I think around March is when I came back into the dojo, and that's when we met.
Yeah, we're both white belts.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Yes.
But we're badass white belts.
We sure are.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Oh my gosh. So you're my first interview. So
I'm excited. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for this journey for you.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. I'm excited too. I'm a little nervous. Being in front of a camera.
Yeah, that's normal. Every single show will get easier.
You're right. It
will.
You're right.
Yeah.
It'll get to a point where I'm like, it's not as scary. Okay, let me tell you a funny story. So today I was leaving work, and I'm deathly terrified of squirrels.
Okay.
I'll just start with that.
Okay. Squirrels.
Squirrels. not my thing at all. And so I purposefully parked behind the building because I know that's not where this one squirrel is. This one squirrel that just terrorizes everybody.
That's hysterical.
And so I'm going to leave, and the squirrel is on the ground in like a mermaid pose. Like just...
Okay, that's odd.
It was weird.
Yeah, that's
It
very
freaked me
odd.
out. I walked all the way around the building.
That's
to
so
get to my car.
Oh my goodness.
I couldn't do it.
Real fear of squirrels.
Yes.
This is like a serious fear.
Happened. Yes, because, backstory, Herman Park.
Okay.
I went to that little Japanese garden that they have there at Herman Park.
Yep.
And there was a squirrel who just was like looking at me like he was about to kill me. And
Mad
I was like,
dogging you?
Yeah, I was like, you need to calm down.
That's not cool.
And so what did he do? He started running after me.
Really?
Yes.
Like you were chased by a squirrel?
Yes.
And is there a video?
No.
That's too bad.
There's a witness. Ryan is my witness.
Well, then I'm going to be talking to him about this
We
squirrel
almost
incident.
pepper sprayed the squirrel.
Well, you do what you got to do.
I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die. This squirrel's going to kill me.
That's a great story.
So anyway.
I love that.
I digress.
That's a great story.
Yeah, so I'm terrified of squirrels. That's that.
Yeah.
Maybe I know someone has a video of me freaking out over a squirrel.
Oh, we've got to see that.
I will find it.
Yes.
And show it to you for sure.
We've got to see that.
But anyways, how are you doing?
I'm
For
good.
real?
I'm really good.
Yeah?
Yeah, life is good right now.
I like that.
Life is calm. Life is, nothing big is happening, which, as you know, the last 4 years have been just one big thing after another. And
Yes.
I'm telling you, I'm over it.
Good.
I'm like, let's have a couple of years of just calm.
Yes.
So that's really what I'm praying for.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll talk about a little bit about those 4 years. And
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
that stuff here in a little bit. But, try to break the ice.
Yes.
What did you eat for breakfast today?
Nothing.
Nice. Me neither. High fives.
High five.
Oh, the worst high five in history, but that's okay.
We're two girls. What would you expect?
We're both over here like, wow. And I'm like, I thought it'd be a clever question.
One would think that we would have coordination, seeing as we do
That
jiu-jitsu.
too.
Yeah. We can't let
Yeah.
Jeff see this.
No, Jeff Messina, if you're watching this, you're not allowed to watch this. You can listen to it.
I love it.
Okay, what about the Texas heat? Because we are in Texas.
It's driving me crazy right now.
Same.
It is. And I'm selling a lot of new construction homes right
Oh my
now, which means I'm
gosh.
out in it
All
without
the
AC in
time.
the houses,
Nope.
in the mud, in my boots.
No.
So yeah,
I don't know how you do, I don't know how you do that.
You just suck it up.
You're like, you know what? Just work with what you got, I
You
guess.
just do what you got to do.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Phoenix, Arizona's worse.
Oh, so we see.
Yeah.
We've got
see?
something to be
We've
grateful
got something
for.
to be grateful
We
for.
are not in Phoenix.
Exactly.
Yep.
Not gonna ever be in Phoenix if
no,
I can help it.
I would never survive.
I'm like, it's been like over 110 for 3 weeks.
Wow. Can you
Insane.
imagine?
I can't.
No, me either.
I already don't like this heat.
Yeah.
That would be like me. I would never go out. Ever.
Yeah.
I'd be like, well,
I work with a lot of relocation people, and they want these huge lots with these huge backyards, and they're coming from colder climates.
why do they need a backyard?
And I tell them, unless you have a pool in that backyard,
Yeah.
you are literally going to stand at your back window and just look at that yard. You're not doing
so
anything
true.
with it.
You're not. No. What are you
And
doing
then
with
you have to pay to have it maintained.
Yeah, no.
So, no.
It's so not worth it.
Get a pool if you're moving to the Houston area.
100%
For sure.
get a pool. I don't have one, but my apartment complex does.
Which works.
Which I'm like,
Which absolutely works.
yeah. Well, it's terrible. No, I moved to a new apartment. Did I tell you?
Yes, you did. Do you like it?
I do.
That's
I liked it a
nice.
lot.
Nice.
It's nice because the AC actually works.
Well, that is helpful.
In my last apartment, the AC did not work.
Oh,
and it
goodness.
was 85 to 90 degrees every
Wow.
night.
Oh, no.
It was awful. Like sweating. Like Ryan would be
I'd
sweating.
be miserable.
I was sweating. Like we wouldn't going to sleep 1 a.m., 2 a.m. It was awful.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad you got moved out of there. Me too. Yeah.
I was like,
That's
we're
good.
out.
Yeah, I don't
And
blame
it's cheaper. I was like, yeah.
Well, there you go.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
I was like, nope, so much
That's
better.
awesome.
But okay, we're gonna start. I am actually gonna ask you all sorts of questions.
Okay, I'm
and
ready.
you can share whatever you feel comfortable with.
Okay.
The goal of this is that I want people to come away from listening to this podcast and feeling like, I don't know, just feeling encouraged, and feeling maybe inspired and motivated. So
I love that.
that's why I wanted you on.
I love that.
So I'm very excited.
Yeah.
So we will start with this, even though I already know the answer, but no one else does. Did you grow up in Texas?
I did not.
Oh, where did you grow up?
I was born in Long Beach, California.
Okay.
My mother and I were there. I think I was 6 to 8 months when we left and escaped to Houston. My dad was in the Army.
Yeah.
And he came back and he just wasn't right. The Vietnam War really did a number on him. So we ended up in Houston. Then we ended up in Oklahoma. Then we ended up in London for 3 years.
You were in London?
I sure was.
Where's your accent?
I'm just kidding. I wish I had one. That's like the best accent ever.
I totally agree with you. It is.
And then ended up back in Oklahoma for a while, then back in California, then back in Texas.
My
so
gosh.
yeah, moved around.
Lots of moving around.
Lots of moving around.
And was it because your dad was in the military? Is that
my stepfather was in oil and gas.
Okay.
So he worked for Halliburton, and that's how we ended up moving to London.
That's how.
It was a great experience.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you like it? Did you
Loved
go to
it.
Okay.
I think everybody needs to go overseas or out of the United States to understand how big the world is and how much is out there. It really makes an impact on how you view the world around you.
Oh, 100%.
Yep.
When I was in high school, I went on mission trips to Guatemala.
Yep.
And those changed my life forever.
That's awesome.
They were I was able to see different cultures, different people, and just see like a different way of living.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Versus here.
Turn that upside down so it doesn't drive me crazy.
You're like, don't look at it. Okay, so you moved around a lot.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Nice.
I did.
I guess my question is, what was your childhood like? Because I know that I'll bet, I'm just guessing and spitballing at this point.
Yes.
But I'm assuming your childhood has a lot to do with kind of the person that you are today.
It does. It has everything to do with the person that I am today.
Mm-hmm.
The beginning of our family, once my mother and my stepfather got married, things were, I guess, normal. We were never the happiest family. My mother grew up in a very abusive home, and she carried that, with her, as a lot of people do. And I have no animosity about that whatsoever. When I was 14, she had surgery. She had a tumor in her head.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and when they got in there, they looked, and it was just bound up by a bunch of veins, so they had to pull it out, and they ended up bruising her frontal lobe.
During the surgery?
During the surgery. So the mother that went into that surgery and the mother that came out of that surgery were two different people. So it was like my brother and I had lost a parent that was still walking the planet.
Oh my gosh.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
What were the changes, and like how quickly did you know that she just wasn't the same? Was it instant?
So pretty quickly. As soon as she was recovered enough to, be able to speak and be able to get around, we noticed very, very quickly, my brother and I, that something was wrong. Something was very, very wrong. Unfortunately, she got mean. Very, very mean.
That makes me sad.
Well, it makes me sad for her. It makes me sad for us kids.
Yeah.
It was a tough life after that surgery. It was rough.
That's what you meant by she changed as a person.
Oh, she did. She wasn't the same person.
Oh my gosh.
No, she woke up a different person, and she woke up very dangerous to the point where the last 5 years of her life, I wasn't able to see her. My children have never had a relationship with her. The damage that she did to me was good enough. I wasn't going to pass that down to my kids.
No.
So
Understandably.
I drew that line in the sand. Hard decision for a child to make, even if a parent is abusive, you still love your parent. Mm-hmm. You just do.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're your parent.
They are.
It's hard there's a bond there that's not going to be broken.
It's true.
But boundaries are a thing.
Yeah. Boundaries are absolutely a thing, and I believe in them, and I stand by that decision. I have two very, very healthy, well-rounded children because of that decision. Yeah. Had I allowed that abuse to roll down onto them, who knows what they would be like right now.
Oh, it would have just been generational.
It absolutely, and that's what I was trying to stop.
Yeah, you're trying to break that generational curse.
That's right.
Lack of better term.
Well, it's true. If you go back in my family history, you see that generational curse of the abuse. My grandmother raised four girls by herself and had a string of abusive men that came through that house that did just horrific things to those girls. And And I have compassion for all 4 of them for what they went through. But there was damage done to them because of that.
Oh yeah, they'll never be the same.
No, you're not. When something traumatic happens to you, you aren't ever the same. You just aren't. You know, it changes you.
Yeah, and there's not enough therapy that could ever help with that. But at the same time, I think people who go through things like that, and like I know I've gone through my own set of trauma and things. I think it can shape people. And it really depends on how you decide to deal with it. And so
it's true.
You know,
it's very, very true. Very true.
So what happened after you left home when you were probably what, 18?
I was God, the story is
we got time.
Hard. Yeah, the story's hard. You know, I was in, and you'll be the first person, and now I get to share it with everybody else. I was 16 years old, and I went on a trip with a friend of mine and her grandmother. We got to the place, and my friend brought out some alcohol, and I drank some alcohol, and I got raped that night.
Oh my God.
And it changed my entire life. It really did. But I think the reason that it changed my entire life is that I went home and I tried to tell my mother about it. And my mother didn't protect me. So I was forced to just carry on with life like nothing had ever happened.
And you were a kid.
I was a kid. I was 16. And a virgin at that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was a tomboy. I wasn't interested in anything like that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's traumatic.
It really was. So for the next year after that happened, your little 16-year-old mind doesn't know what to do. So I went into panic mode. I stopped eating, got down to about 105 pounds. And with my stature, that's very, very thin for me. Ended up stopping my period for 6 months.
That's really
bad. I mean, my body is, and nobody in my family is noticing.
Nobody notices that you're 105 pounds?
They're noticing that I'm skinny, but they're not connecting any dots.
Oh my gosh, that there's something
wrong.
They're
just not connecting any dots that I needed help. And at 17, I had a very, very serious suicide attempt. Took a whole bottle of phenobarbital and Ritalin that was prescribed to my mother, and they ended up having to put me on life support and tubes down my throat and put me on dialysis to save my life. And
and you were still in high school.
I was still in high school. I was 17 years old when that happened. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a tough road. It really was. And I think that's where the anxiety started. All the panic started. The PTSD started. When you go through an attack like that, and especially when there's no justice.
Yes, that person got away with it. And there's nothing
I can do about it. And to this day, there will never be anything that I can do about it. So it has been a long journey to healing. But worth it.
Yes. Look at you now.
So worth it.
So worth it. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Wow. So then after all of that happened, I'm sure that changed you for sure.
I was a mess. I was an absolute mess. I railed against the world. I was angry. I was a rebellious teenager. I'm already, as my personality. I'm kind of an aggressive person anyway.
I love it. But yeah, you are. I like it.
I'm kind of a kick the door down type of person anyway. And I think it pulled out that rage in me. And I raged against the world for probably, until I was 24 and God found me on a couch.
Wait, back up. What?
I did. From probably 17 to 24, I just absolutely raged against the world. Wow. Made a lot of mistakes. Did a lot of things that I'm not proud of. It's just the truth. Sitting on the couch one evening, God gave me a fork in the road and gave me a vision of what my life would look like if I carried on the way that I was going.
Oh my gosh.
And what my life would look like if I followed him.
Goosebumps. Literal goosebumps.
So, no, I mean, and can I tell you something funny about the vision that really got me?
Oh gosh. Yes.
No, you're going to laugh your butt off when I tell you this.
Ready.
I didn't have any teeth. And I'm way too vain to not have any teeth. I'm like, I can't go through life without a tooth.
They're so white.
Isn't that stupid? but God knows you. He's like, she's way too vain. If I show her a picture of herself with no teeth, she's not going there.
Oh my gosh. That is the best.
It's funny, isn't it?
It is.
So I got up off of that couch and I stopped doing everything that was destroying me.
Wow.
I did.
Cold turkey.
Cold turkey.
Dang.
All of it. Everything that was destroying me. I am not saying that I was perfect, because it's a long journey to healing.
Long journey. Yeah.
It really is. I didn't meet Jesus until I was 28, and I met him face to face.
Tell me that.
It took him a long time just to get me healthy enough to start having that relationship, just kind of picking me up and setting me on my feet and, telling me everything was going to be okay and that I was loved, that I was cared for. And at 28, I was going to a church and I was praying that I would say yes like Mary, because Mary was very willing to say yes to whatever God wanted her to do. She was just so brave, and I just admired that so much. Yeah. And God, of course, was like, okay. So the church came to me and wanted me to facilitate a weekend where we had a gentleman come and speak at the church. His name was Brennan Manning.
Okay.
So he came and he spoke, and I facilitated a small group. Yeah. Now, mind you, I've got PTSD. I've got anxiety so bad that I can barely look people in the eyes and talk to them.
And look at you today.
God is good.
Yes, he is.
But I did it. But I said, I've been praying this. How dare I say no? So I went there, and Brennan was talking, and everything was just unbelievable. And he had us kneel. So we all knelt, and he said, close your eyes. So we all closed our eyes, and he said, I want you to picture Jesus' face. And I am telling you, Jesus was, bam, right here in my face. And I left that day. It still gives me goosebumps.
Yeah.
I left that day, and I called my father's children, or my children's father, and I said, something happened to me today, and I will never be the same. And I never was.
Wow.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It changed my whole life.
It changed your whole life.
It changed everything about my life.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's like, that right there is inspiring to me. Even for the people who don't necessarily have a faith or anything like that, like, it's still inspiring to see that you literally just laid everything down and were like, okay.
I only have my story to tell.
Exactly.
And you're going to be interviewing people with all kinds of different stories and all kinds of different religions and all kinds of so this is my story.
Yes, and it's going to be a blessing to so many people.
I hope so.
Oh,
I
know so.
I really hope so. That's the goal. The goal is to use what happens to you and try to reach back and help the person behind you.
Yeah.
How can we, let them know that there's hope.
That's a big one, especially in today's world. I think there's just so much going on. There's so much discourse and just a lot of things. So I think having these little, positive stories of other people's lives, I think is going to be impactful.
Yeah, survival.
That's really what it is.
That you can pick yourself up and you can do something different. You do not have to stay in the same place.
Nope.
You have the power to stand up. You have the power to do something different, to choose something different. Is it easy? Of course not. But anything worth doing in this world is work.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
It is.
The easy way is never the way that leads you to greatness.
No, the easy way is a good path for destruction.
It is.
In my opinion.
I agree. I agree.
So
I really do.
Yeah. That was good. I'm glad that you shared that. And you haven't shared that.
I have never shared that with anybody.
Gosh.
I had cancer.
Yes.
And I really think that, I'm tough. I just kept getting up and kept getting up and kept going and kept going. No matter what, I just kept going. And I think God just threw the kitchen sink at me.
Yeah.
You know, to just break me down.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't shared this. I was ashamed of it. I really was. And I think a lot of women out there who have experienced something like I have, you know, where there's alcohol involved.
Oh, yeah.
There's a shame that comes with that.
And I think you also like blame yourself.
You do. You absolutely. For years and years, I blamed myself. And that's, you know, why I did such stupid stuff, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Because you think you're damaged goods.
You do.
Which is absolutely not true.
It isn't. It isn't. And if I could just, you know, if I could just hug every woman out there that's been through that and let them know that they're valuable, that they matter, that did not take away who they are. They are not damaged goods. Yeah. You know, that you can rise up out of it. You know, it's a horrible thing to happen to anybody.
Yes, it is. But
so after cancer broke me down. And I, you know, it just made me get really, really authentic with myself.
Really?
Absolutely authentic with myself to the point where, you know, this is me. This is my story. Yeah. If you like it, fine.
If you don't, bye.
Fine. You know, and for a lot of years I was trying to, you know, be the square peg in the round hole, and I couldn't fit.
So you're trying to kind of please everybody?
I couldn't fit.
Yeah, no.
You know, I wasn't, the experiences that I had in life, you know, there were just so much. Yeah. That I couldn't fit. Yeah. You know, so eventually I think each person needs to come to a place where they're authentically themselves.
Yeah. That's a big one.
It is. It's huge.
And it's hard to be yourself, I think.
It's so hard.
In this day and age, especially.
It really is.
It's like I'm the kind of person that's like, I want to be friends with everybody and I want everyone to like me.
Me too.
I have learned that not everyone likes me. And that's okay.
It is okay.
You know, I've had to just be like, you know what? I like myself and I have people that love me. Yep. And I have a supportive family. Yep. And that's
Can
what
I
matters.
just say, I can't imagine anybody not liking you. Who are these people?
Oh, gosh.
Because you're just such a joy.
Oh, you're very sweet.
You are.
Thank you.
Yeah, just can't imagine
there are people.
Yeah, there's, you know, we all
but
have
everyone
them.
has
them. We all
I'm just like, you know what? It's fine.
It is absolutely
fine. You know, I'm not living for anyone else's approval anyway.
That's good.
You know, so
yeah,
there's that.
And you're learning it younger, which is good.
I'm trying.
Good.
I'm really trying.
Good, because you've got so many years ahead of you.
Yes.
To make it a beautiful life.
Thank you. Yeah. Gosh, you're going to make me blush. You won't be able to tell anyway.
I love it.
I have another question about kind of just everything to wrap that segment or that part up. Okay. So what has been kind of the moment that changed the trajectory of your life in like the best way possible? So like just that one moment that you're like, yeah, no, I'm going to go on this path because
really,
you know,
I think cancer and meeting Daniel.
Really?
I really think those two things combined changed the trajectory of my life in a way where I can truly step into God's will. You know, safely step into God's will. He gives me courage.
You guys are adorable.
He just gives me so much courage to step out of my comfort zone. Yeah. You know, he's the best support I've ever had, and I've never had that before. So
he adores you.
Oh, I know.
I can tell.
He does.
I'm like, that man would take a bullet for her.
He would, and I do the same for him.
Exactly.
So, you know, that's what it's all about. So yeah, if I could say what's the best thing that ever happened to me, cancer and Daniel.
Wow. Did you meet Daniel while you had cancer?
I met Daniel 26 days post-op from a double mastectomy.
No way. No way.
Yes. I had 3 drainage tubes hanging from my sides because I was a working single mother with this house. Yeah. That I had to pay for. Yeah. And my doctors were like, you got to rest. You got to rest. I'm like, are you going to pay my bills?
Yeah. Like, how am I supposed to do that?
How in the world can I do that? I've got 2 children. I've got a mortgage. There's no way that I can do that. So, I just sucked it up. I had those tubes for 9 weeks until my reconstruction. 9 weeks.
Oh my gosh. 9 weeks.
Horrible.
Oh, that's awful. I cannot imagine.
But, you know, you do what you got to do in life.
Yeah.
You
made it work.
I did.
That's the thing.
I did.
Yeah.
I sure did.
Speaking of houses.
Yes.
How did you get into real estate?
Well, I love that story too. You're going to get all my good stories.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
So I was in oil and gas before I was in real estate. I actually worked in a corporate America probably for about 15 or 20 years.
Okay.
While I was in oil and gas, I was driving home one day and I got a vision of a business. Didn't know what that business was going to be. Didn't know what it was going to look like. Went home, told the kids' dad, we're going to own a business. Okay. 10 years later, real estate fell in my lap. Now, mind you, I have anxiety so bad at this point that I can't walk into Chick-fil-A with my 2 toddlers because I am afraid.
Oh,
that's
Mary, that breaks my heart.
But that's where I was.
That is where you were.
But I believed that was from God, and I wanted to have courage.
Yes.
I didn't want to tell God no, So really, when it happened, I laughed at God. I was like, "This is this is
hysterical,
ridiculous," because I came from a technical background.
Yep.
I worked in a lab. I was by myself, so. I just jumped off the cliff and started the business. And my second year in real estate, I closed $14 million in sales.
Holy crap!
I know. The team that I was on, they made me the lead realtor. I started to implement the systems for the company. I started to do the interviewing, assisted with hiring, assisted, with everything.
Yeah.
Because I came from that corporate America background, I knew how to put the walls up of a business.
Yes.
I really did.
Yeah.
So I spent about 2 years on that team and, one day sitting back going, why am I building somebody else's name?
Yeah.
Because, and I'm a risk taker. Obviously.
You do jiu-jitsu.
Right. So I started my own team, and the rest is history. And now we're doing residential real estate. We're doing land development. We've got 15 townhomes being built in Spring Branch.
That's insane.
And we're doing commercial real estate.
Oh my gosh.
It's been a lot of fun.
You have so much fun. I see it.
I have a lot of fun. I do.
See it.
Now, we work hard and we don't get much time off, and you're not going to see us on vacation a lot.
Right.
But we have goals.
Yeah.
We have goals for these 4 kids that we're raising.
Yes.
So we want to create a beautiful life for them.
I love that.
Yeah. They're worth it. They're worth it.
Yeah. Definitely worth it. One of them does CrossFit, right?
I have 2.
2 of them do CrossFit?
I have 2 that do CrossFit. So my son is he started in CrossFit and became an Olympic lifter, and did one competition and landed first in the nation. Like, he's ridiculous. He just
did it like, I think I'm just going to do this one day.
He's ridiculous. No, he trained for years to get to that.
Gosh.
So
But he got first place.
He trained for years and then did one competition, landed nationwide. Yeah.
That's impressive.
And then my daughter just started about a year and a half ago, and she is quite impressive. We're an athlete family.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful to be able to give them this gift at this young age, because I didn't find out that I was an athlete until I was probably 40.
That's so
Can you believe that? I was 40.
Ridiculous.
And I had no idea, because nobody gave me the opportunities to figure out what I was good at. I was in survival mode from the time that I was little until the time, I was just in survival mode.
Oh, yeah.
So.
And then here you are, and I'm going with you in jiu-jitsu, and we're rolling, and I'm like, she's going to kill me.
I don't know about that.
I can just tell.
I don't know about that.
You're so strong, Mary.
It's that
my
CrossFit.
Gosh. It's the CrossFit.
It's the CrossFit. It is.
I always get back, and I'm like, I'll be like, Ryan, she's so good. And he goes, you got to remember, she does like CrossFit. And I was like, that's so true. I was like, it's so good.
Although I don't do it like I used to.
Really?
I have fallen in love with jiu-jitsu so much that I go into CrossFit, and everything that I do, I scale to make me better at jiu-jitsu.
I love that.
I know.
That's what aim to do.
Yeah.
When my ankle is better,
yeah, right.
I will be back.
Yes.
With vengeance. No, I'm just kidding.
You can
Preston, if you're watching this, it's
you
a
can
joke.
do those lunges on one leg. With
Exactly.
Your foot up. You got this.
It's fine.
You got this.
It's totally fine.
Yeah.
Did Daniel get you into jiu-jitsu?
He did.
Okay.
It took him forever.
Really?
Oh my gosh, it took him forever because I just wasn't sure. Now I come from a love of fighting.
Oh yeah.
I fell in love with fighting with Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson also had a tragedy story that I very much connected with and related to.
Yeah.
So I think that's, that story and watching him and his struggle and his rage, which I understood. And I loved boxing. And then the UFC came out.
Oh, yeah.
And I go all the way back to Tank Abbott. And some of y'all are going to be like, oh my goodness. Y'all are going to remember Tank Abbott. She does not.
I don't know who this is.
No, you don't.
Who is this?
Tank Abbott's like one of the first UFC fighters.
Oh, okay.
One of
Makes
the
sense.
very first. So, and I've been, watching fighting since I was a teenager. So, but I never thought that I could do it myself. The world has changed so much. Well, the world has changed.
Yeah.
Come on.
It has.
I'm 51. So
Women
the world
can do
was
it now.
different when I was young. I didn't have those opportunities to get into jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Gosh, I wish I would have.
Oh my gosh.
When I see the girls on the mats, my heart, I'm so grateful for them. That they get to do it.
Yeah. I love seeing the young, there's a few teenagers that I will roll with and I'm just like, you're going to be so good.
Oh, they're going to be so
it's
good.
So fun to watch them just kind of they learn new technique or they do this and they're so excited about it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they also they get it within 2 seconds. And I'm
do. The younger ones get it.
They do.
Yeah. They pick it up faster. I watch the kids class and I notice it. It's pretty amazing.
It's entertaining.
It is very entertaining.
Very entertaining. I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
So, let's see, I have so many questions, but I'm going to try to
come on, bring it on.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to go in some kind of order, but it's not.
That's okay. It's a conversation.
Organic conversation is just happening.
That's
so
the way
I'm
it should be.
It's fine. Who is your role model and why? Is it Mike Tyson?
Well, Jesus.
Yes.
Jesus.
That's
of
good.
course.
Of course.
Because he saved me. Because he loved me when I was very unlovable.
Oh, and you felt like no one else loved you.
Oh, they didn't.
Oh,
and I wasn't lovable at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay for me to say that. And it's okay for other people to say that.
Yeah.
That there was a time in my life where I just wasn't the best person in the world.
Yeah.
So that's definitely my role model. That's who I chase after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good role model.
For sure. I don't think that there's a role model on this planet that really you can chase after that, know.
People will disappoint you.
People are flawed.
People are so flawed.
Everybody will disappoint you. And, I try to tell my kids that you are going to be disappointed by your best friend in the world.
Oh, yes.
You just are.
Because people are human.
And it's called, and we extend each other grace.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's all about, is understanding that humanness that we all carry around and extending that grace and love.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Man, why aren't you a motivational speaker?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Can you write a book? I will 100% read that book.
Scary. And happy.
But it would be everything. People would get all the emotions.
Oh, it would be all the things.
Oh my gosh. It would be so good. Goodness.
It would be all the things for sure.
Well, I asked the question. I didn't actually ask it. You answered it. When did you realize you were an athlete? And it was when you were 40.
I was 40. It's funny.
So
I went into now I ran marathons.
Okay.
Well, I lost my brother to a drug overdose.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, he didn't survive our upbringing. I really do believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that he just didn't make it through it. I wanted him to get sober for years and years, and he just didn't make it. So I asked God, okay, you've got to give me something so that I don't just spin.
Right.
That was my baby brother. He was 5 years younger than me. It was a very hard loss for me. So my friend asked me to train for a marathon. So I did it.
Oh my gosh.
I trained for a marathon.
You're like, why not?
No, I know, right? I'm the worst runner in the world. Everybody at CrossFit who sees this is going to be like, they're not even going to be able to believe that I ran a marathon because I'm like the last one in the door. I hate running.
You're like, I will not run. I'm a lady.
I know, right? So I trained for a marathon and I went to Paris.
Okay.
Because go big or go home.
Yes.
And
you went to Paris for this marathon?
I did.
That's so cool.
I one and done. I ran a marathon with 50,000 other people in Paris, France. And then came back and, knew that running wasn't something that I wanted to continue to do. And found, actually, I went around and interviewed CrossFit gyms because, I'm like that. I thought that was I wanted the right gym.
Yeah.
And I walked into this CrossFit gym and this 5'10" beast of a woman just walks up to me and her name is Leia. And I look at her and I'm like, okay. Where do I sign? Because I want whatever you're having.
You're like, I want that. How do I get that?
Exactly. But it was incredible because I was 40 years old. And what the body can accomplish when put under pressure is amazing.
It's insane.
I mean, I got my pull-ups after 40. I got my handstand walk after 40. I got handstand push-ups after 40. I got toes to bar after 40. I got chest to bar after 40.
That's crazy.
So
gives me hope.
I had the time of my life, man.
Oh my gosh.
Did.
You love it.
I do.
Yeah.
I really
working
do.
Out in general.
I do. I love to train. Training is the thing that keeps the anxiety at bay.
So it's a little bit of an outlet.
It is an outlet for sure. I don't do it to look good. That is not the reason I train.
No.
I train for my mental health.
Yeah.
I really do. And the thing that I love about Revolution Dojo is that I get to sit on the mats with people who are training for the same reason and that understand me.
Yes.
And I've never had that before. I've never had that before. Other people, we've got a lot of military people in there that have PTSD.
Yeah.
Come on, I'm a woman.
Yeah.
There's not many women with this.
Yeah.
So those mats are healing.
Oh, yeah. I have some of the best friends on those mats.
Oh, me too.
Like, I know for me, moving to a completely new city, knowing absolutely nobody, and then going to Revolution was like, that's where I found my people.
You picked the best gym ever, too.
I
am so glad you ended up there.
I know.
And
me
not
too.
a lesser. No, I'm just kidding.
We're just kidding. I was at another gym. And then I visited Revolution because I was like, I can't do this gym.
Yeah.
And then Ryan found it, actually.
Yeah.
And Ryan was like, oh, you should try that one.
Well, what I love about it, and I think this comes from the top down, is just the level of integrity that is expected by every athlete that walks through those doors.
Oh, yeah.
We are held to a high moral standard. And I love that.
Yeah.
I love that's what we're surrounded by.
Yeah.
So,
it's good.
And grateful to Jeff for creating that atmosphere for us.
Jeff does a really good job of creating an atmosphere where everybody feels welcome.
Yep.
Everyone feels seen and heard. And also when you get on those mats, everyone's equal.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Everyone.
Like, sure, there's like belts and differences, but you're all doing the same sport.
Yep.
And like, there's not a lot of women in the sport already.
Yeah.
There's more and more, but there's still not a ton.
Yeah.
And so the way that he has like created this safe space for women, where like, if I felt uncomfortable with someone, I would go to Jeff.
Oh, absolutely.
And I know that he would be like, okay, I got you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I want to talk to them.
We have got just a great group. And I mean, I think we're the gym with the most women too.
In Houston, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we are a strong female group of fighters.
Oh, yeah. And they're not all just white belts.
No.
There's like...
Most of them are purple belts.
Yes,
are you kidding me? Most of them whoop my butt.
Same.
Weekly.
All the time.
I love every minute of it.
And I'm okay with it. I'm
Me
like,
too.
You know what? In the moment, I'm like, oh, this sucks. But then afterwards, I'm like, you know what? That was fun. Beat me up again.
Exactly. Let's do it again.
Let's do it again. Oh, my gosh.
I love it.
Well, if you had the attention of the world for 5 minutes,
Yes.
what would you say to them?
That there's hope. You know, that if you're going through a very, very difficult time, that there is hope. Even in the middle of your darkest moments, there's hope. You know, fight, stand up. Don't lay down and die. Stand up. You know, we're all responsible for one thing, and that is ourselves. We're not responsible for anybody else. And, you know, saving yourself really saves the people around you. So if you think about it, if each person will stand up and save themselves and work on themselves and become the best version of who they can be, of who God created them to be, the ripple effect of that, not only through generations, but outward as you're impacting the people around you. I mean, I can't imagine the reach. I don't even think that we could be able to measure it.
We wouldn't be able to comprehend it.
No. And that's just each person just standing up and working on themselves and admitting their failures and admitting when they're wrong and being humble, you know, and and being accountable. You know,
that's so good.
Oh, it would
beautifully said.
It would change the world.
It would.
If you want to change the world, do that. Do that.
Get up
And be the best version of who you can be.
I love that.
You know, we're all called to something different.
Yes,
we are. And all of us have some different lives, but there is a best version of you out there, and I say you fight until you find it.
I love that.
Yeah.
She's wise, guys. She's got some wisdom. Well, as we're wrapping up, what has been the favorite part of this episode for you?
Talking about jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
We seem to laugh every time we're like,
I know. Just talking about being on the mats, you know, I'm a different person because of it. You know, I walked into that gym being an assault survivor. So being smothered was very, very difficult for me. But my husband forced me to just take it until I was used to it, until I could handle it, so it changed me.
But then you also, like, it's not like you're just being smothered at this point. At that point, you know how to fight and you know how to get out of it.
Exactly. I can protect myself now.
That's a big one.
I'm not afraid. The first time that I ever noticed that I wasn't afraid, we were at Memorial City Mall, and I was walking by myself down a corridor, which is a scary thing for somebody who's been assaulted.
I can imagine.
And I was thinking of the multiple ways that I could get a hold of everybody and collar drag them. And
Let's go.
And smash their head into the cement.
Yes.
So I have tools in my tool belt. To protect myself now. I don't want to have to do that.
No.
Of course I don't want to.
It's the last resort.
But I wasn't afraid for once. You know, I wasn't afraid, and that was an amazing moment for me.
Jiu-jitsu definitely gives me like a confidence that I don't think I would have had otherwise,
no,
you know?
Either.
Like knowing that, like, okay, sure, maybe I can't take down people like freaking Jackie Chan,
of
right?
Course.
But I have this thing that I now know in my head, and I'm like, okay, I know a little something. So if it actually comes down to it, you know,
and you have
and the fight goes to the ground, okay,
yes. Yeah, right,
and they know nothing. Okay, we're good.
Well, 99% of the world does know nothing. They don't do what we do. 99%.
I don't think I knew that was the statistic.
We are the 1%.
Look at us.
I know.
Wow. We're so cool. We're cooler than the rest of you. That's a joke. Since most of the people watching this are probably going to be from jiu-jitsu.
I know, right?
Oh, man. As you can tell, we love talking about jiu-jitsu.
We do.
So there's that. We might be a little obsessed, but it's okay.
It's a lot of fun. I wish more women would get involved in it. I wish,
too.
You know, just so that they could protect themselves. You know, the world becomes more and more dangerous every single year, it seems like.
Yes, especially for women.
It is. You know, and there's a way for you to protect yourself. You do, you know, you just got to train a little bit.
You just got to train a little and get your hands dirty. It's fine.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. So how can listeners support you and your real estate or whatever? If you need a house,
Absolutely.
And you're in Houston.
If you need to buy, sell, or invest, we do all three.
Okay.
We also do commercial real estate and land development.
Fancy.
So whatever the real estate need is, we can cover it.
Dang.
And we take really, really good care of our clients. I've got about 280 5-star ratings on HAR.
Oh my gosh.
I have worked hard for those,
That's awesome.
And you have to treat people good to have that kind of record.
Yes.
You really do.
Well, you treat people with respect.
I do.
And dignity and kindness.
Yes.
And I've never seen you ever talk down to anybody, no matter who they are.
No, goodness.
And so,
who am I?
Exactly. You're like, who am I?
To anybody,
honestly.
Really,
But you have something that a lot of people don't have. You have all the things you've been through, but then you also have your faith as well.
Right.
And so I think that just has really molded you into
the
Mary I know.
It has. Yep, for sure. I'd say if you want to get in touch with us, the best way is email. It really is. So my email address is Mary at marywattsrealty.com.
It's going to be in the description as well.
Awesome. So. And I'll also give you my website address as well.
Please do, because I'm going to put it in the description.
Sounds good. And the phone number.
And all of that stuff.
That
everything.
way I don't have to tell all y'all that information as well.
And my Instagram is going to be in the description as well.
Awesome.
I would love it if you are listening to this to give it a 5-star review. If you're driving, please wait until you're not driving, because I'm not about to be responsible for that. Texting and driving, no. 5-star review and driving.
Yeah, I know.
Please don't do that.
Don't do that.
But if you could share this with your neighbor, your cashier at HEB, I don't know, anyone would be awesome and amazing.
So can I just say one thing that I think is very, very important?
Yeah.
What was the start to your life?
Oh gosh, it's a
good story.
It's a good story.
And I think it's something that people need to know about you as you embark on this new journey.
Yes.
You have quite a survival story yourself.
I can give you the abridged version.
Okay.
Like the shortened version. Okay. And then next time you're on my podcast, we'll do
Let's do it.
Catching Up with Mary.
Sounds
and we'll
good.
talk even more. So the shortened version is that I'm from Ethiopia. I was dropped off at the doorsteps of a Mother Teresa orphanage. And I was there for 3.5, 4 years of my life. I remember some things. I don't remember a ton. I knew no English whatsoever. So then this really sweet couple were they living in New Hampshire at this point or Vermont? Anyway, I think they were in New Hampshire at this point. Yes, New Hampshire. They really wanted kids. They couldn't have any kids because of, health reasons and all that. So they looked into adopting. And that adoption story is ridiculous. I will have to have my mom on here.
I can't wait to hear it.
And my mom will have to tell it.
I love it. I can't wait to hear it. You need to do that.
Yeah, no, I should.
Because you have quite a powerful story yourself.
Thank you.
Yes.
So I was adopted, and I knew no English. The way that I learned English was that my mom actually... Oh, someone's calling me. Hold on. Anyway... They can calm down. It's Ryan. Ryan's calling me during this. It's fine. But anyway, I learned English just because my mom would say a word and then I would repeat it. Yes. And that's exactly how I learned.
Well, I mean, listen to you.
Thank you.
You sound like you were born in the USA.
Right? You do. I am now a United States citizen.
Awesome. Very cool. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. I can't wait to hear your story.
All right. Everyone, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. That would be great. Follow the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts because it's going to be everywhere. And that's it.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
We did it.
We did good.
We killed that.
Yeah.
Honestly.
That was easy.
Oh my gosh. A whole hour. And that's a wrap for today's episode of Life is Short, So Am I. I hope you enjoyed our time together as much as I did. Don't forget to follow me on social media for all the behind-the-scenes sneak peeks, bonus content, and updates on upcoming episodes. And of course, if you have any suggestions, questions, or remarkable stories to share, feel free to reach out to me. I love hearing from you all. Thank you for joining me on this journey to find joy, inspiration, and meaning in the everyday moments, and of course a little bit of laughter here and there. And I do believe that together we can make this world a brighter place. So until next time, keep embracing life, spreading kindness, and always remember that even the smallest person can make a big difference.